My phone lit up with a message from my father. "I disown you. All communication through my lawyer." I stared until the screen dimmed. Then I typed one word back and hit send. Okay. I put the phone down, opened my laptop, and logged into my bank. Usernames, passwords, two-factor codes. No drama, just procedure. I canceled the $2,500 automatic transfer that had been paying their mortgage. I pulled my card off the family cell plan. I froze the car loan I'd co-signed. Every pipe from my accounts into their lives, I shut off. One by one, the valves turned. When I finally closed the browser, my apartment felt quiet in a way I hadn't realized I'd been missing. All of this started 48 hours earlier when my Uncle Noel forwarded a video from a dinner I hadn't been invited to. "Look at this," he'd written. The footage was shaky, but the sound was perfect. My Aunt Patrice's laugh cut through the restaurant noise. My father, Howard, raised a beer. "She's not a kid," he said. "She's an ATM. She'd pay for the air if I asked." My brother Caleb added, almost bored, "She thinks wiring Dad money makes her important." Glasses clinked. No one objected. I watched it twice, then a third time, feeling less shock than a calm click of confirmation. I'm an auditor. Wrought behind polished numbers is my ordinary scenery. 4 years earlier, when Howard's restaurant supply venture collapsed and the bank started foreclosure, he and my mother, Ruth, had called me in tears. "You're the responsible one, Mara," my mother said. "We don't know what to do. We'll lose the house." "We just need help for a while," Howard said. "Family takes care of family." I had a steady audit job in Denver and no dependents. I agreed and set up a $2,500 monthly transfer to their mortgage. I tracked every payment, 48 months, $120,000. It wasn't generosity. It was a peace tax. I grew up the scapegoat. Keeping the lights on also kept the blame down. Caleb had always been the golden child. His screw-ups were phases and bad luck. Mine were defects of character. Approval came on a short-term lease, renewable only when I proved I was useful. 2 days after I shut the taps off, Ruth called while I poured coffee. "The bank called," she said. No greeting. "The mortgage bounced. It's due today. Fix this." "You disowned me," I said, voice level. "You'll need to communicate through your lawyer." There was a sharp breath. I hung up. The texts came in waves. "Caleb, you're pathetic. Dad is ruined because of you." Patrice. Whatever childish game this is, apologize and fix it. Childish. As if I were stamping my foot, not closing their books. I didn't reply. Instead, I opened a new email. Subject, cessation of financial support for Howard. To all, I wrote, as I have been disowned, as of Sunday night, I am ending my ongoing financial support. I added a sentence about the duration and amount. For transparency, attached is a ledger of payments over 48 months totaling $120,000. I attached the spreadsheet, mortgage_ledger_1, 20k.pdf. Then I attached the video file Noel had sent, family_dinner_ateam.mp4. I read the email once, my cursor hovering, then clicked send. The detonation was immediate. Within hours, an email arrived on firm letterhead from a law office I didn't recognize. Cease and desist. It accused me of defamation and tortious interference, demanded a retraction and apology, and threatened a $75,000 lawsuit. I read it once and let out a short, humorless laugh. Receipts beat thunder. The next morning, I hired a Denver attorney named Val Santos, known around the courthouse for not backing down. She skimmed the letter, checked my attachments, and leaned back. "They're bluffing," she said. "Defamation requires a false statement. You have documents and their own words on tape. That's not defamation. That's evidence." "There's more," I said. "Howard's been managing a community medical fund for our old neighbor, Mrs. Ellison. His paperwork is always messy." "Messy how?" she asked. "Messy like camouflage," I said. 2 days later, she called, voice tight. "You were right. He siphoned about $60,000 from the fund over 3 years. We've traced the transfers." The floor inside me dropped a notch. It wasn't just family dysfunction. It was fraud built on the same patterns I'd grown up under. Hide, smooth, deny, blame. My cousin Elise called, crying. At 17, she'd spent a summer at our house. Howard had come into her room at night, she said. When she told her mother, Patrice told her not to make trouble, to think of the family. Then Dana, my late mother's closest friend, reached out. She'd read the email chain and wanted me to know what I already suspected. Howard had drained my mother, to her savings, her credit, her confidence. By the time her body gave out, there wasn't much of her left that was hers. I realized I hadn't been singled out. I'd been next in line. A week later, someone knocked on my apartment door. When I opened it, Howard stood there, smaller than I remembered. Stubble, sagging shoulders, hands twisting together. "They're going to arrest me," he said. "You're my daughter. Fix this. Get me a better lawyer." I handed him a folded sheet of paper. "Read." It was the criminal complaint. He smoothed it open and scanned down the page. His face went slack when he hit the second name under the charges. Caleb. "You should get him a lawyer, too," I said. "I was disowned. Talk to my attorney." I closed the door. Their threatened civil suit disappeared. The criminal case did not. Facing conspiracy charges, Caleb took a deal. My audit notes became a roadmap for the investigators. Payment by payment, they followed the trail from community donations to Howard's accounts. Howard pled not guilty and went to trial. He lost. The judge sentenced him to 3 years in state prison. The house I'd been keeping afloat went to auction. Our family name, once painted on delivery vans, shrank to a rumor people spoke carefully, if at all. My own life didn't collapse. It expanded. Months later, my boss called me into her office. "You've been steady under pressure," she said. "We'd like you to step into the senior director of audit role." I accepted. When I walked out into the Denver afternoon, the air felt like it finally belonged to me. I kept the $2,500 budget line, but I wrote a new payee. The money went to my savings, my therapy, my future. I bought a desk and put it by the apartment window where the light is mine alone. I also started a small blog and called it The Scapegoat's Ledger. It was for the responsible ones. In every family, the people told they're selfish when they stop paying everyone else's bills. I wrote about ledgers, documentation, and naming harm in plain language, about knowing the difference between helping and being harvested. For years, I believed peace meant nobody yelling, no emergency calls with my name on them. Now I think differently. Peace isn't silence. It's everything counted and clear. It's knowing where your money and your loyalty go and choosing on purpose. Ledger closed. Balance true.